pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
You know, and the funny thing about that was what I was saying was, you know how like you was gone from work on vacation, you come back and you don't know how to do shit? Hey, y'all. Thanks for coming back to the Big BoneYard. I told him it was going to be 8 days. I don't know why. I told him it's the day that slaughterer motherfucker. I mean, it was Columbus Day. All right. Anyway. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Big BoneYard. You got myself. You got Big Bone. You got Archbishop. Archbishop, what's up, man?
What up, though? What up, though?
I'm wearing that button out, man. Yeah, man. It's been good, man. It's been good this past week. So for those of y'all in Florida, weather's been great. Folks up north telling me I was talking to my brother earlier. He said it's 50 degrees barely. I'm like, what the heck? See, for those of us in Florida, we don't understand that because, see, it's October. Why is it 50 degrees and it's October? You can't go to the beach well, you can go, but, you know, you ain't doing fun shit. Anyway.
Right.
How's everybody doing? All right.
They don't know what it's like to be in the cold down here. You know what I
mean? Yeah. See, cold here. 50 is, man, you might as well just stay home.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Everybody blood thin down here, so you know.
Yeah. You know, it is, man. It's true.
They get 60 degrees, they walking around here with triple fats on, sweaters, hoodies, all that. You know what I mean? 65 degrees outside, they bundled up like it's 40 below.
That's when they break out the boots with the fur, you know, like that. Like
right.
You boys say.
Right.
See, Mike Ball, what's up, Mike Ball? That guy Frost, what's up, Frost? Douche Canoe, Miami. Hey, Miami. Hey, we got to give it to her because Miami keep me in alcohol. I'm gonna try not to blow shit up over here, making a mess. Yeah, man. But in the meantime, I think we're gonna be all right for a good show tonight. I think we're gonna be all right, man. Because one, got a bunch of boneheads here, so that's always good. That's always good. That's a way to do it. But shit, how was your week, bro?
Man, it was all right, bro. You know what I mean? I had to move around a little bit. Had to do a little bit more than what I wanted to do, and a lot more stuff that I should have done. So, like I said, it's been busy. So, I mean, but blessing to God, it's got taken care of. So we, you know what I mean? So we good.
Yeah, facts. No, I got you, brother. On that one, this has been one of those. So I was well, it used to be Bob the Builder. I wasn't Bob the Builder this time. I was so my daughter's car. This is just on some old personal miscellaneous shit. I learned some new words. I thought my Spanish was getting better, but I learned that that father in Spanish is ATM because that's what it is because you feel like that. Anyway, so my daughter's car had a whole thing, had to get a new windshield because the AAA dude jacked it up, busted it out. And then I had to, not build, but I had to put in a new alternator in a car. It's a Pontiac. They don't even make Pontiacs no more. But she had the Pontiac G6, nice car, all like this. I went to put the alternator in there, man. Back in the day, when you put an alternator in a car, you pretty much needed, like a socket set, a hammer, a fucking, like a crowbar. That's what you needed pretty much for every alternator on the planet. You didn't need a whole lot. Man, now I had to go and rent specialized tools, and there's a special serpentine belt. I'm like, what the hell? What used to take me 10, 15 minutes, swear to God, used to take about 10, 15 minutes, now took me about 2 hours with the back and forth to the damn show. To the auto parts store. Anyway, I got it done. How was y'all weekend, everybody out there? Boneheads, let us know how you was doing this weekend. If you haven't, since we're getting started, like, like kind of straight away type shit, y'all let us know. Come on, machine. All right, there we go. So y'all let us know how your weekend was. I'm having some technical. Oh, there we go. But no, y'all let us know how your week was and everything like that. But yeah, man. So this week we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We've got, of course, our topic. Oh, matter of fact, my bad. Can we do a disclaimer, sir?
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, the disclaimer is, what we're talking about tonight is our opinions and our opinions alone. Has nothing to do with our prospective clubs, even though we love the clubs that we're in, but we're not talking about them. So what we're talking about, like I said, is our opinions and our opinions alone, based on years of being out here, factual information, stuff we done dug up, looked up, that we know that's 100% factual information. So it is what it is after that.
Yep. I'll tell y'all what. So tonight, this is actually kind of interesting, I think, for the most part. So what we're talking about, which is a few different things. The subject of tonight was really, we call it MC protocol, some MC do's and don'ts. And we're definitely going to talk about some of that stuff. And I'm just going to give you all the description now. But we're going to start in a completely different damn direction because, we be doing that on occasion. But anyway, you ever heard the old expression, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't? Well, it's kind of like that on the MC set sometimes too. That's why they're a group of standards that everybody kind of follows, to kind of stay out of a bunch of bullshit. They're really a part of our traditions, protocols, and bylaws. These are the rules, if you will, that we follow, many of which are not written down at all anywhere, but we follow them anyway. So let's get it popping tonight on the Big BoneYard. So that's where we're going, but that ain't where we're going to start. In fact, that first thing, if I can unfreeze this joint. Hey, AB, you talk to the folks for a little bit. I'm going to fight with a computer just for a second. I'm kind of froze up over here. You talk to the
So
folks.
you froze up?
Yeah, well, I got a technical issue. Everything froze up on my end right here, but I think I'm gonna figure it out right quick. But anyway,
actually, you look fine on this end.
No, I mean, I'm saying controls. My controls are frozen.
Oh, got you.
But I think I'll figure it out here in a second. Let's see here. Anyway, here, I'm gonna black out and you talk to the folks. I'll be right back.
All right. All right, until he figure this out, let's get this popping. Look, we this week we got a couple things we're going to talk about. First thing we're going to talk about is things we're dealing with protocol, stuff like that. Because there was a situation that came up that protocol was definitely needed at the time, and it could have been either way. You know what I mean? How that would have went. But we're gonna leave that up to you to decide what that's going to be. The second thing we're going to talk about is there's a situation going on in North Carolina. I don't know whether some of you know about it, some of you don't, but they passed some stuff over the past week where they actually initiated a secret police force. And yeah, I know you weren't about secret police force. No, I mean like the Gestapo's type secret police force. Okay, so we're gonna dig into that a little bit because from what I'm reading and what we found out about that is that this force is not only is it it starts out in the state of North Carolina, of course, but it starts out in one spot and then it moved on to several other spots, different states or whatnot. But how it's set up is that these special officers have uh, no jurisdiction. They can do whatever they want. There is no such thing as attorney-client privilege. If you own a business, say the business you was running out of your house, they can walk in your house anytime they want to, go into your computer, go into your files, take whatever they want, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's also It's also set up to where if they are investigating you and you go public with it, that is considered a charge. That's added on to whatever that you were investigated with or was charged with before, um, along with a number of other things, which would keep you from from being able to retain a lawyer because basically you ran your mouth. You told people what was going on. So um, one of the several things that we're going to talk about tonight. Um, like I said, that particular one is like crazy. I mean, and you think about it. When I used the term earlier, when I said it's in like the Gestapo, I'm in just that, and that's what a lot of the representatives and stuff in North Carolina are talking about, because uh, from what we've gotten was that their governor, when it first came through, the governor had vetoed this bill, and being the fact that the Republicans hold a vast majority vote in the House and the Senate, they overruled his veto and put this into fruition. Um, it's also a thing on there to where um, they can go through your stuff and figure out everything that you're doing, but they can go through and censor what they have to disclose to you. Meaning, I mean, they need all of your business, but they can take everything from you, and then but they can pick and choose what they want you to know. And your volume ain't right, Bone. So that's some of the stuff that we're going to talk about. Like I said, it's going to be pretty interesting. We got a couple videos we're gonna show you, and then we're gonna dive into it. So, like I said, I know a lot of you don't know about this. A lot of you don't know about it yet, and but we're gonna dig into it though. So maybe we're gonna make sure everybody finds out. Because, like I said, this is something that everybody needs to know, especially for somebody who wants to live in North Carolina and also the surrounding states, because just when it only needs to happen in one spot. And then once it happens there, then it's just gonna be a spearhead to move on to other states. So puts everybody at risk. So I think he's still trying to get this. Yeah, you have zero volume whatsoever, brother.
What about now?
Got you.
All right, cool. All right, I'm back in the saddle again. God damn it. All right, I'm back. I'm back, god damn it. Stop cussing, man. But hey, no, I tell you what you were saying though, the one, and I was chomping at the bit because when you're talking about those redacted files, here's the crazy thing. A lot of folks that we talked to just over the past 24 hours about this, the thing that keeps coming up. Damn, that's Nazi shit. That's the Gestapo. Isn't that the secret police? That's exactly what the Gestapo was. The Gestapo was a secret police. And people used to say, oh, well, that can't happen here. This is America. Can't happen here. This is America. Guess what? It's happening here. And this is supposed to be America. But, y'all want to take a look at that video? Let's take a look at that first one. Let's take a look at that first, that young brother. This dude was in the Marine Corps, and so he makes a lot of these videos. But let's take a look at him right quick. Hear what he's got to say.
North Carolina residents, did y'all hear about the new police force that the Republicans in North Carolina put in place to keep you safe? Bullshit. So the far right-winged Republicans of North Carolina decided to create a new police force, secret police force called GovOps. I'm kind of confused. How is it secret if you just told us about it? And if you're wondering why they call it GovOps, just like Black Ops, they think your life is a fucking game. If you're in North Carolina, GovOps can search and investigate you just because if they just fucking feel like it. Attorney privilege? Say goodbye to that shit. Unlimited access to your medical records. And fuck a warrant. They could just take the voting machines this goddamn election. But then, I asked, who the fuck voted for this? Nobody. You know why? Because they can just do what the fuck they want. But you're fighting for the freedom of the American people. Wrong tweet tracking.
Yes. So,
Most people.
Yeah, ain't that crazy?
yeah, that's some nuts shit right there. Hold on, let me kill this dude. Hold on. Oh, there you go. Had to kill that. But yeah,
I mean, how many times have we been talking about this though? Well, I mean, this right here is new. We didn't know anything about this, but how many times have we been talking about this for the past couple of months? That it's stuff that's going on, and they have you thinking about and looking at one thing over here, and this here is slipping through. Now this right here actually went into effect the same day that they did that that emergency thing where they was hitting everybody's phone and TV and iPad and all that stuff. They was sending the little, and when they did the little emergency response thing or whatever, all this happened in the same day. So like I said, everybody trying to figure out what that was, because of course you got the conspiracy theorists thinking that it was about to be a fucking zombie apocalypse because they were gonna send this special signal out and get everybody. Shit, guess what? I'm still here and I gotta go to fucking work, so that ain't work anyway. But yeah. So everybody was worried about that and thinking about that, and like I say, you got other stuff that went through. I mean, this is a bunch of stuff that went through in Florida too, but we just gonna deal with this one because this one right here, when you think about it, this is going against your basically all your rights. You know what I mean? You basically gonna have a force that can come in and do whatever the hell they want to do, and they have no guidance whatsoever. They can do whatever they want. And if you say anything about it, then that's another charge. And by you talking will also keep you from getting proper representation. I mean, what country are we in? You off again, Bo.
All right, there we go.
There you go.
I'm having technical difficulties tonight, y'all. But anyway, what I was going to say is that we got Tim Salmons from North Carolina and a few other folks from North Carolina that's chimed in and joined us tonight. So we want to hear from everybody, but especially y'all folks in North Carolina, because that's ground zero for this shit. And you know how this works. It'll start in one state like North Carolina or like Florida, and it's going to be Texas is going to get it, Florida's going to get it, and every other state, because what they're doing nowadays, politically speaking, is every time one state comes up with some crazy, insane, far right-wing nut job type stuff, the next red state is going to be like, hey, hold my beer and watch this. We're going to up the ante on this one. And Lord knows North Carolina has. Like Bishop said, though, the thing that's frightening about this is that this isn't going to just stay in North Carolina. If you're in North Carolina, it's real bad, but it's not going to stay there. So don't feel like that's just a North Carolina problem. It's not. It's just like we've been saying about in Australia. If you think that the things that are happening in Australia can't happen here, they can. The biggest takeaway that it seems, the biggest takeaway from this is how totalitarian governments start. They start with the media, getting people to distrust the media, then they take control of the media, which of course we know that we've got some billionaires like Elon Musk, who just bought Twitter, renamed it X. You've been had the dude from Fox News who's been doing his thing, and we could go on and on with that stuff. But the long story short of it is that this is one of these call to action type of situations. We're advising folks that this is happening. Now, the big question is, like my uncle used to say, what you gonna do? Now you know what you're gonna do about it. So you got to vote. You got to vote, and you know who's doing this. So folks have got to be conscientious of this and make changes. Anyway, let me shut up for a second. You want me to run that second video?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Let me check it out.
Let's take a look at that joint right quick. I'm trying to keep the to the minimum. Oh, stand by. Where was it? Oh, there we go. Come on now. Really? Hold on. Or maybe not. Let's see if it's already up. Hold on. Okay, or maybe not. Let's try it again.
While you trying to work on that, I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
I know here for the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about a lot of different stuff, and I'm sure, uh, sometimes we kind of drag ourselves over into this rabbit hole where we start talking about political stuff, and then you have people ask, what I mean, well, why are we talking about political stuff on the show? Because we're talking about MC stuff. Okay, well, you got to think about it like this. We One of the things that I say all the time is that even though we're in motorcycle clubs, we're also people first and foremost. Now, a lot of the stuff that's going on, whether you think about it or not, plays some part into the MC world. And the reason why I'm saying that is this: a lot of these laws is coming into place. Um, like even with this police thing, everything trickles down. Uh, One way or another, we're gonna get some part of it. You know what I mean? Whether it's from the fact of just doing business, or just to, what I mean, you've seen what's been going on this year. 23 has been fucked up when it comes to motorcycle clubs. You know what I mean? And granted, not everybody's doing it. I mean, granted, you have people over here that's trying to do what's right and do all the stuff correctly to keep pushing a positive narrative out there, and we applaud you for doing that. And then you have some over here that's on the back end that does the latter. But you don't hear about the good stuff; you hear about the bad. And while you're hearing about all the bad stuff, like I said, if you hear enough bad stuff, it takes precedence over anything that was ever done that was in a good manner, or anything to that approach. Um, so what we're doing is we're keeping people aware of things. These are, I mean, this is not just a political thing. This is a us thing, a people thing. Um, this is also getting people aware as to what exactly is really going on here. You know what I mean? Tell you the truth, I don't really give a damn about the politics, because they all equally fucked up. I can care neither way. But what I do care about is my rights. My rights as a human being, my rights as an African American, my rights as a human, as a biker, my rights, period. Okay. And I know you do too. So don't think about it as though we trying to push it, or trying to push an agenda or anything like that, because that's not what it is. But what we are trying to do is hold these fuckers accountable for the shit that they are doing, because the stuff that they're doing in the dark, when it comes to light, it's too late. So we're trying to push it out now to where people know what's going on, and be able to, get out in your areas, and be able to say something, voice your opinions, and let people know what's really going on here before it's too late. When it gets to the point that there's nothing that we can do, and that's basically where it's going to right now. We're hitting a spot to where, coming back from, it's not going to be as easy as we think. And if you go back 5 years or even 10 years ago, and look at now and then look at then, and you notice how much stuff has really changed, um, and it hasn't changed for the better. You know, we keep going back and forth trying to decide who's gonna make this country better. It's not them, it's you, it's me, it's us. We're the ones that's gonna make it better. You know what I mean? And that's when we got to get to the mind frame that we got to stop depending on other people to do something that you could come out here and do yourself. You know what I mean? You can stand out here and fight for what's right. I mean, the same reason how our forefathers fought for what we have now, we should be able to fight to keep what we have. And that's basically that's the American way. You know what I mean? This other this this other shit that's going on right now, and I know it don't have anything to do with us. For real, this is a lot of back and forth stuff based on what they're looking for, what they're trying to get out the deal. They they do a bill, and that bill ain't just for. I mean, think about it. That bill that they just did for this police force, that wasn't the only thing that they voted on. It was probably 7 or 8 different other things that was in that bill that we don't even know anything about yet. And that was the main part of it. Which is, once again, like I said, you put that main thing out there, and everybody focus on that, and then you don't pay attention to the other stuff that went by. And that's what we're dealing with. It's it's the art of deception. To I'm gonna show you this, but just sleight of hand. You see, I got here, and then now you see, now you don't, and it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy what we have to deal with in these times. Especially dealing out here with this MC world. You know, because they have the persona out on us. We're all running up and down the road, and we're rape, pillaging, and plundering, and we just doing having our way and doing whatever we want to do. And a lot of people think that, because they're not around or they don't know about. They don't know bikers. They don't know that we all, we all stand for something. We all stand for freedom. We all stand for family, brotherhood, loyalty. Like I said numerous times, these are words that people use, from a lifetime of fighting for something. A lot of people nowadays use this as a catch line. This is what we need to get back to, because quite frankly, if we don't, and we don't, rally the troops, so to speak, to be able to pay attention and actually go out here and look and be able to stop some of this stuff that's going on, we all gonna be lost in the sauce. It's not gonna just be in Florida. It's not just gonna be in North Carolina. It's gonna be for everybody. Everybody. So like I said, whenever I don't know what the hell's going on with Bone stuff. No, I have no damn clue what's going on with Bone stuff. But hopefully he get that fixed. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna keep this pumping, all right? So that's what we gonna do. Let's see what we got here. Let's see, Jazz. They will always try to slide something into the fine print. Absolutely. That's always been what goes on. Um, most bills that are done, you think about it. This is what they call the pork. Add the pork into it. Because you think about it, they want one thing passed over here, but you got a congressman over here that needs something. You got a congressman over here that needs something. So what they gonna do? Okay, well, you get my vote if you give me this, for I can work on my roads. Like, okay, well, I need 200,000 if I can do this program over here. Well, I need this if I can do this. They're gonna add it all in. Because they gotta. At the end of the day, it's all about a vote. It's all about a vote. Even dealing with your chapters, think about it. It's all about a vote. You don't have to be righteous. You just gotta have enough people to follow you. Let's see what we got here. That guy Frost. Let's see. We have to bring stuff to light. Let people know that we're just lucky enough to have platforms and the voices to use it. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's if you think about the there's thousands and thousands of podcasts um, that's comes on every day. And like I said, we're just a guppy in a big lake right now. And we just putting it out to the people that listen. Um, but even with that, we have to be, we may be the guppies in a small pond, but we got to be the big fish in this pond, though, because it needs to come out. We gotta be able to let our people know, what the real is, and be able to move on as a group. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we're all one. You know what I mean? It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's not a Republican thing, a Democratic thing. We are a people. We are a brotherhood, sisterhood of motorcyclists. And if we move as one for one time, because we talk about this all the time, but if we move together one time, we could change a lot in this country because there's a lot more of us than it is of them. So, hey, Big Bone, you got your stuff together, brother?
Yeah, man. To some degree, we're not going to be able to pull up that video though. That's the thing that's giving us a fit here. It's one piece of software is not cooperating with the other piece of software anymore. But we'll be all right. But that one video that we watched was pretty good, and hopefully between now and sometime real soon, we can still be able to share that. We can put it out on the Big BoneYard or something like that. But yeah, Big Bone obviously not spending time up north in Florida too much. But yeah, man. But what you're saying is nothing but the gospel. I was reading some of the comments while I was working on this stuff, man, and some folk. There was somebody that said, "What's the chances of programs like this or police forces like this existing in other states?" And I think that it's extremely, extremely possible. It's extremely possible. In fact, it probably is. It's probably been, they've been keeping it on the low or whatever. North Carolina is just like, hey, fuck it. We got the people, we got the votes. We're going to do what the hell we want to do. I think that's what we're actually seeing. We've been seeing that a lot. That's been the attitude in politics a lot over the past really over the past 6 years. It's been a lot of that. We're going to do whatever the hell we want to do. Damn the rules. The Constitution, the constitutionality of what they're doing in North Carolina, there is no way in hell it's not going to be challenged. Of course, it's going to be challenged, but it's going to have to get probably all the way to the Supreme Court, the federal Supreme Court, before it can be challenged. And at that point, what kind of damage has been done in the amount of time it takes for that to get to the Supreme Court? So these are things that we got to think about, this type of stuff. We definitely do.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? I think it's funny. How is it that you can pick and choose what it is that you want to, like, for example, the way they have this set up is that they can walk into your lawyer's office, and your lawyer have to give them every piece of information that they have on you.
Right.
It's like fuck attorney-client privilege, all of that. I want to know what y'all talked about, and according to this bill, you got to tell me what it is that y'all.
Well, according to the bill, they're using a bit of a loophole, and what they're doing is, if your law firm or your agency, your social group, whatever, if you have at some point or another received public, or meaning state funds for whatever, that opens the door. According to North Carolina, it's don't get me wrong, it's bullshit, but this is their rationale. Their rationale is, well, if you've accepted public funds, state funds for anything, then we deserve to see what, if anything, is going on. Now, that's a direct contradiction to the U.S. Constitution. It says that you are actually allowed a fair hearing, jury of your peers. You're allowed proper representation. That's why when you get Mirandaized, there's that little part of the Miranda speech that says, if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. The reason that they say that is because the Constitution guarantees you certain protections, and one of those is you are allowed to have a proper legal defense, even if you can't afford it. What they're saying is now they're going to erode those constitutional rights by saying, we don't care what the Constitution says. This is North Kakalaki. We're going to do what the hell we want to do. We want to see what you got, Mr. Public Defender or Mr. High paid lawyer or whoever it is. Attorney-client privilege doesn't mean anything anymore, not in North Carolina. And please understand, this isn't something like that brother said earlier. This isn't something that was voted on. This is something that they enacted, very much like Yogi Bear said the SS. That's what I was telling you just yesterday. The SS, the Special Police, the Gestapo. That's what Gestapo is. But it's very much likened to the same exact thing. Trump Reaper says this is Nazi shit. It absolutely is. This is fascist. And the thing is so funny, speaking of fascists, right? So they have this group, Antifa. Not a fan, because they get a little bit ridiculous. Ideologically speaking, I get it. But the way they execute things, that's questionable. But basically, they're saying they are against fascism. And the folks that are waving them Trump flags and all that kind of stuff, who claim to not be fascist, but yet they fight against the anti-fascists whilst they're doing fascist shit. And at the same exact time, like Republicans love to say, oh, this dude's going to take us into socialism. It's never happened. Hadn't happened yet, not for regular folks, but we do have socialism in a corporate sense, because the corporate welfare, like I don't want to get too deep into it, but those huge tax cuts that happened for those 4 years, and they're still happening now under the Trump administration, you've got huge businesses making billions of dollars a year that aren't paying any taxes. So the tax burden goes on the poor to middle class. Like those are the people that are paying for those taxes. And they say, oh, they're going to make all this money and it's going to trickle down, and the poor folks are going to be okay because they're going to be able to get good paying jobs now because these companies are making billions of dollars. They don't have to pay no taxes. When is the last time you heard about rich people giving away shit to poor people? We'll wait. Yeah, so yeah, they don't. That's why that shit never works. Reagan tried it, it didn't work. And we can go on and on with that, but neither here nor there. But the big thing about it is that it's an erosion of the Constitution, which the Constitution, one of the few things that we did halfway get right in this country, historically speaking, and it's been the one thing that we can always point back to and say, hey, that's unconstitutional, and that used to mean something. Used to, past tense, don't know more. Nowadays, that don't mean jack.
I mean, so what are you?
Mhm.
Okay, so what are we leaning to? If you have a group like that, where number one, they can do whatever they want. Okay, they have no
No
what you
oversight.
call- right, no oversight whatsoever. So they can move around and do whatever they want.
Right.
They can bust up in your house, go through like I said, if you got a business, you're running your business out your house. You know what I mean? They can bust up in your crib and it's like, okay, we need your computer, we need all your files, we need all of that. We
Right.
don't need no warrant, we just need it, and walk up out of it. You know what I mean? So and then it's like it starts out with one thing.
Right.
And then it's like once that happens, then it kind of progresses to something else and progresses to something else, because a lot of times, like even with this, and let's bring this back into the club thing. How many times have somebody had a position and they gave themselves more power than they actually supposed to have?
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
happens.
And
Sure.
then they do a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. You know what I mean? Until eventually,
Why do they get away
everybody
with it?
assumes that this is what they're able to do, but that's not what they're able to do.
Right. I was just going to say that's how they're able to do it, is because the people, meaning in this circumstance, the body doesn't know what the laws are. Or in the case of a club, you're talking about bylaws. So they don't know the bylaws. So they're just going to assume that this elected official or this whoever in the cabinet, they know what they're talking about, and they just kind of go with it. And when things don't go their way, oh man, that's messed up. I wish it wasn't that way. Well, a lot of times it's not that way. You just didn't read the damn bylaws. Or in the case of citizens, we don't pay attention to what the law is. I can't tell you. I was talking to somebody today with an insurance company. I was schooling this person on how insurance laws work in the state of Florida. And about 4 times, this dude put me on hold so he could go double check with his supervisor. And the supervisor, oh yeah, well, in Florida, yeah. And then after a while, he stopped putting me on hold, and I could just hear his supervisor in the background as I'm saying different things. He's like, hey, well, this dude just said such and such. He's like, yeah, he's right now in Florida. So what's important about that is that, so again, we're speaking about what's constitutionally correct or legal versus what they're now doing. You hear a lot of people on the far right screaming about states' rights. States' rights do not trump basic, no pun intended, do not trump basic human rights or the rights given afforded every American under the Constitution. It doesn't work like that. But I'll give you a perfect example. There is a standard years ago, after I got out of the Marine Corps, I was a executive agent of VFI. That's Virginia Fugitive Investigation. So that's a fancy way of saying I was a bounty hunter who worked with bail bondsmen, and judges would give you a case and yada yada yada. We could go, no kidding. And for those of y'all out there who are familiar with this industry, we could go and kick down somebody's door without a warrant, no search warrant whatsoever. We go kick down somebody's door, go grab that mofo, grab him up and drag his ass back to the state of Virginia, where they was waiting for him at the jail, was waiting for him, and the judge was waiting for him. Go get him. Don't even have to knock on the door. And I'm not even being facetious. A lot of times, of course, we did, and we followed a lot of different procedures and so forth. But legally, that was the law was called Taylor. Y'all can look it up. I'll say it slow. The law was Taylor versus Taintor, spelled Tainor. Taylor versus Taintor, 16 Wall. That's WALL 366. So Taylor versus Taintor, 16 Wall 366 was the rule of law, Supreme Court ruling that we worked under. And what that meant is that if a guy has absconded in Virginia, if they found him to be, like, let's say some guy robbed a bank and then he disappeared, they couldn't catch him, but they caught his partners, and they had enough evidence to say, man, we're going to hold a trial even though we can't find this guy. They found him guilty in what they call abstentia. That means he wasn't there. So he was found guilty in abstentia. So technically he was under arrest. They just didn't have his body, the habeas corpus. Here's all this legal stuff. So that meant wherever he wasn't a citizen no more. He was a prisoner. So prisoners don't get charged, they don't get protection of unreasonable search and seizure. They don't have an expectation of privacy or any of these other things. So if he's chilling in his living room, we can kick the door down. We don't need a warrant. If he was on bond, he was in jail, paid some money, they let him out of jail, provided he did certain things. He had rules he had to follow while he was out on bond. Well, if that bond or bail was revoked or he skipped or whatever, guess what? No reasonable expectation of privacy or a whole bunch of other stuff. He's a prisoner who just happens to not be in jail. We got to go and reincarcerate him, if you will, right? So under that, you would assume, man, them cats could do anything. Nope. We could do an awful lot of things, but still the Constitution was very clear about what you could and couldn't do. In certain areas, like you could not arrest, in certain states, the police could not arrest somebody on Sunday. They say on the Sabbath, can't get him on Sunday. If he's in church, can't touch him. State of Virginia, if that man's in the hospital, crazy house, any of that kind of stuff, you can't touch him. If you bring him there in custody, that's one thing, but you can't go to the hospital and say, there he is, and slap the cuffs on him while he's under doctor's care. You better not in the state of Virginia, because then your ass will be going to jail. So the Constitution trumps a lot of things, even in the case of Taylor versus Taintor, 16 Wall 366. So what this stuff going on in North Carolina is the trend that's going on throughout the United States, where individual states are eroding all of your damn rights. Bikers here in Florida, we was talking about that too. You get hit by a car, the insurance company, maybe they want a drunk driver, slams your ass, breaks your leg in 5 places. The insurance company don't want to pay. Guess what? Tough. They ain't paying shit if they don't want to. And there's no oversight. Now, you would think constitutionally that doesn't make any sense. They've got, bad faith laws in Florida, don't they? Nope. They don't, not anymore. Because good old Ron DeSantis got rid of all of that stuff so that, those nice people would pay for his presidential campaign. But I digress.
Right.
That's why he waited until after he signed that shit into law to announce his candidacy or announces him running for president. He had to wait till the check cleared. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even joking. That's the sad part. Nobody's even joking about it.
Yeah, somebody had asked on here about was this something that they had brought up in April or they voted on? No, this actually happened 8 days ago.
Yeah, no vote.
And what happened was that it was brought up in April, okay, and it went to the governor's office, and the governor vetoed it, okay. You would think at that point that once the governor vetoed it, that was it. Nah, they brought it back, and being the fact that they had a vast majority, Republican majority in the House and the Senate, they did it again and went over top of the veto
proof
to bring it into fruition.
Right.
No, because another thing about this though, like even though let's set all that stuff aside, there's also a clause in there in that bill that's saying that the representatives, the congressmen, senators, that they can pick and choose what information of their own stuff that they have to disclose to you.
Right. It's called a redaction clause. So that means they can or cannot show you whatever the hell they want. So you've ever seen a government document that has all them black magic marker lines over it? That's a redaction. As in, we not sharing this part right here. That's none of your business. So they can redact whatever documents they want. So if it comes to a grand jury and they provide a grand jury with certain information, anything that might be favorable for that person that's facing the grand jury, they can just break out that Sharpie, baby. And guess what? They leave the most damning evidence, and they can do it in such a fashion, whereas any grand jury, if all they see is the man walked in the bank got robbed, he might have been a customer or anything else, but they're just going to show you he walked into that bank and then that bank got robbed and it was a guy his height. And they're going to show you the most basic information because that's what they're going to do. They're going to use this. It's not even a ruling. I started to call it a ruling, but they're going to use this this new authority to do whatever the hell they want to do. So North Carolina is getting ready to turn into a Gestapo state. It's unfortunate, but that's what's getting ready to happen.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I see a lot of comments in here where they're talking about, violating the First Amendment and being able and basically just fucking over the Constitution as it stands.
Yeah.
The question that you ask yourself is that being the fact that you see what you see, okay, and like I said, anything that we're talking about right now, you can go on YouTube right now and look at every video about it, every newscast about it, or whatever. You can see everything that we're talking about here. The question is to you guys is being the fact that you just heard what it is, and you can go on here and check it out. What are you gonna do about it?
Facts.
What are you gonna do about it? Are we gonna just sit here and talk about it for an hour, and then after the end it goes in one ear and out the other, or you're gonna actually do something about it? You're gonna actually look into it other than this show. You know what I mean? Like tomorrow, are you gonna make a call to your representative and be like, "Man, what the fuck is this?" You know what I mean? Or the ones in North Carolina, and if I'm not mistaken, it's going on in Georgia as well.
Yeah.
But we got to think about this seriously because like a lot of people don't pay attention to stuff until it actually happens to them. It's kind of goes in one ear and out the other, and you don't really worry about it because it's not you until it becomes you, and then once it becomes you, then you want everybody to rally behind you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just
Ain't gonna be nobody left.
Be proactive. I mean, let's be proactive now, okay? Because the same thing that can happen in that state and what's going on in Georgia and North Carolina can happen in Idaho, South Carolina, Ohio, California, Florida, Texas, everywhere. Okay, then what?
Oh, yeah.
Then what?
Yep.
You know what I mean? When they basically can take the Constitution and be like, you know what, you can wipe your ass with this because that don't mean shit no more. We're gonna do what we want to do. Okay. Then where we sit then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's the question you gotta ask yourself. You know what I mean? So you can sit here on your hands all you want and get the repercussions of what happened, or you're gonna be proactive and start and pay attention and start asking the right questions. You know what I mean? And not just for, not just for your state, but for all the ones, all 50. You know what I mean? Because when it's all said and done, if it's one goes on in one spot, goes on everywhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tim Salmon said that hearing this about my home state makes me glad I happened to be up tonight to catch this stream. So yeah, hey Tim, we're glad that you joined us, man. I mean, real talk, because you got to get the word out, because unfortunately there's too many folks that just don't pay attention. There's all kinds of folks, because this conversation tonight, even though we didn't really get a chance to get to the other stuff and technical difficulties are making it difficult to do it, but the unfortunate thing is that a lot of folks aren't watching. So please share this show, let folks know about it, talk about this stuff, let folks know what's going on, because it's a lot of folks that aren't watching us or anything else. That and they're not talking about this on the news, because they're definitely not going to talk about it on Fox Or some of the other channels, they got too much stuff going on. They got the Ukraine and, you know, the Trump and election. You know, they got a lot of stuff that they're talking about. But in the meantime, if you're one of those people in North Carolina that's getting ready to get your door kicked in or your rights trampled all over on, you ain't worried about the Ukraine right now. Or Israel.
Right.
That's a whole other thing, you know. Yeah, so
What did he say? Going on national what? What did he say?
let's see
What did
here.
y'all say?
Dad said, here's an idea. Donate to the Big BoneYard. Great idea. BoneYard can go to a natural national public radio. All right. Okay. That's the thing. Yeah. We might could do it. So that could be a thing. And let's see. The Constitution says we the people. Well, we're the people. Yeah, we're people. Very well said. And I think that's what happens is that we sometimes forget that. There's a old saying that goes, the people often forget that the people in power are powerless without the power of the people. We put them there. We put them there. It's our job. We don't have to keep them there. It's our job. They work for, believe it or not, it's hard to believe, but they actually work for us. So when these people start doing this fuck shit, it's our obligation. What's that Madiba said? Madiba said that when, let me see if I can say it properly. It's on my, I'm going to pull it up right quick because I do not want to misquote Madiba. Let me say it right. Okay, here you go. When a man is denied the right to live the life that he believes in, he has no choice but to be an outlaw. That's Madiba is Nelson Mandela. And you know, this was a gangsta ass dude. I joke about him a little bit because he was locked up in prison for 26 years, did 26 years, hard time, came out to become the president of damn South Africa, but couldn't stay married another 6 months. So which is harder, 26 years in prison or 6 months of marriage? I don't know, but he couldn't do them 6 months, I'll tell you that. But which is a little sidebar. I'm just saying, nothing against marriage. I'm just saying. But no, but real talk though. But Nelson Mandela said that, and it makes you think. That's what turns people into outlaws, when you start eroding their God-given rights. You know, like we made decisions in this country a long time ago that were pretty good decisions as to how it is that we're going to conduct ourselves as a society. And now these folks are just deciding they're going to take away whatever God-given right. We call them God-given rights, and they kind of are, but they just decided they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do against whoever they want to do it against. You know, it's a damn shame. But it's also going on right here in the state of Florida. They redistrict the whole state so that, you know, because you had these strongholds, Latino strongholds, where the people vote a certain way, in black neighborhoods, black whole districts with black folks where they have a tendency to vote a particular way. Well, what the governor did was he said, hey, let's splice and dice that shit. So let's take this black stronghold and we're going to sliver it off, and we're going to put this little piece here with some white folks, and this little sliver over here, we're going to put it with some Republicans. We're going to split that shit up so that they're no longer a stronghold. They're just little bits and pieces of other voting blocks. So what that means is no more Democrats, no more independents. Everybody that's going to win an election is based on where the Republican strongholds are. Now that is all fuck. They already pointed that out. Mississippi tried it, and Mississippi has already been overturned in the Supreme Court, but they haven't got to Florida yet. So Florida is trying to kick the can down the road long enough to get through this next election, you know, the presidential election. If they can do that, then Florida's definitely going to go for DeSantis, unless the state, you know, it should be a fair fight. I'm not saying it should go, not should go, but what it should be is it should be a fair fight, a fair election. And the way that things are set up right now, they're not. We had in 2020, Florida had the most successful election that we've ever had. Trump won Florida in 2020, but the election process was flawless. The problem was, and why did we go and change everything? Well, it was too close for comfort for some folks. So, hey, let's go ahead and rig this thing now. And it's a shame. So people should still vote. They have to vote. People that know better should get out and vote. If you're a Republican, you should vote. If you're a Democrat, you should vote. But you should vote based on the truth, not based on this bullshit, because you think it's cool now until they kick in your door. You think it's your guys that did it, so it's cool. It's not going to stay that way. Let's see who's calling. Stand by 1 second. Hey, hello, and thank you for calling the Big BoneYard. You got Big Bone and Archbishop. Who's calling us tonight? Oh, stand by. Hold on. Stand by. We can't. Hold on 1 second. Let's see if we can hear you. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see if we can hear you. Oh, hold on 1 second. We want to be able to hear you. Where'd you go? Let's see if we can. We're having all kinds of technical difficulties tonight. Can you hear us now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Diggity dog. Well, shit, we got something going right tonight. All right. So who is this now?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, it's Black Dragon, the Midnight Ghost Rider from Charleston, West Virginia, man.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, Dragon?
Oh, nothing much, man. Hey, what's up, Archbishop? How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, brother. Staying above ground. Any day above ground is a good day, brother. How about yourself?
Hey, I know that's right. I just wanted to hear y'all voice and check in with you, man, and let you know, man. Hey, I ain't forgot about y'all. Hey, and I still be watching, you know what I'm saying? It's just my movements, you know what I mean? You know how it goes. I'm making movements, you know what I mean, through the mountains.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I'm over my uncle's house, and I just wanted to call in, man, and hey, thank you for hey, boy, y'all got the best show, man. Y'all killing it right now, man. Straight up, and y'all kicking some real shit, man. You know, so I've been drinking a little bit, you know. And,
join the club. Join the club.
Hey, I know that.
Wow.
Hey, but yeah, man, I just wanted to. Huh?
No, I was just giving you a toast, man.
Okay, same here. Well, I ain't gonna hold y'all brothers up. I just wanted to say hello, man. I'm gonna sit back and listen to the show, man.
Right on, man.
And thanks for taking my call, both of y'all.
All right, brother. Always good talking to you, man.
Good work.
And love you, man.
Yes, sir. Same here, man. Love y'all, man. Outcast in the motherfucking house. Peace.
All right, yeah. That's
but
all right.
I'm gonna have to go to. You know what? I'm supposed to be going back up north here in a little bit.
Yeah, man. You gotta check him out.
I'm gonna make sure I gotta holler at him when I get up that way.
Oh yeah, man. Good dude. Good solid dude, man. I'll tell y'all what. So we've been at it for a little bit, about an hour. And I tell you, this is one of those, y'all got to do some homework on it. Because you got to take a look and see what, if anything, is going on in your state. You know, because this thing, we've been saying this all year, that when this stuff happens in one state, the way it works nowadays is it does not stay in that state. We've seen it time and time and time again. So, you know, be concerned with the stuff that's going on, and you know, like do your part. You know, speak your piece. You know, you don't have to be shy. If you're a citizen of your state, you're a citizen of America. If you can vote, that's your voice. If you can reach out, like Archbishop just said a little while ago, reach out to your congressmen, your senators, your alderman, your freaking mayor. You know, let these folks know what your opinion is about some stuff. And if they hear from enough people that actually can vote, you know, that changes some stuff. Because at the end of the day, they kind of want to keep their job. Sometimes now the ones you got to watch out for is the ones who's getting ready to get paid off and to go into private practice or go into the private sector, because they've done so much dirt that now they can get to the private sector and, you know, really screw you over. But Tim said, we got to stop voting with the thought of I'm right, I'm left, and vote for the best, whether no matter who that is, even if it's a third party. Now that is about the smartest thing I done heard.
Absolutely.
You know, that's just a fact. Too many folks are, you know, they're what's that expression? They're what do they call that? They're tribal. They're too tribal. You know, it's like people who love the Cleveland Browns, nothing against the Cleveland Browns, but it don't matter whether they win every game or lose every game. Cleveland Browns fans don't change. They stick with that damn team, right? So folks might want to, you know, take a cue from the Cleveland Browns. You know, not a bad idea. Think about it. Just
I mean, actually, that should go across the board, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, if you think about it, we got the same thing that goes on here in the MC world.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean? Because there's
definitely.
everybody has their own little fractions and little cliques and shit like that. Whether you want to believe it or not, in hell, some of you might be in one. But
Yeah, yeah. It
it's
happened.
you ever been in a situation where you sit there and you look at somebody and they're in a position or whatever, and you like, man, how the fuck did they even get there? Man, they stupid as fuck. Fuck this dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean? And a lot of people get into these spots knowing they don't know their ass from a hole in the wall, but they get into
Yep.
these spots and they fake it till they make it. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Instead of putting somebody in these positions in these spots that actually know what the hell they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that
That's
kind
my
of
boy.
resonates,
That's my
right?
boy.
That
So
resonates, you know what I mean, triple fold throughout. You know what I mean? It's not about who you cool with. It's about who can do the job. You know what I
right.
mean? And if you think about it, a lot of the people these days, when we go through actual elections or stuff like that, about the top. Trump, Biden, DeSantis. You know about them.
Right.
How about you don't know who your fucking mayor is,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
your congressman, or your senator in that district? You
Yep.
don't know the alderman. You don't know none of them. You know what I
Yep.
mean? These are the people, the city councilmen. These are the people that you need to know. You know what I mean? You need
Thanks.
to, because once you get that together in your town, in your county, then you can branch out. You know what I
Right.
mean? Into your state and then move to another state and whatever. But you got to get your grassroots first. You know what I mean? You got to get
Thanks.
these people that makes the decisions where you rest your head. You get them first, and then you branch out. You know, hell, how many times have you went to go vote and you looking, what I mean, other than the president and
Ooh,
maybe one or two other ones, you looking at the other ones and you like, shit, I don't
who
even
is
know.
that?
Hold on,
Yeah.
well, him and guess this one. You know what I mean? You don't even know these damn people.
Yeah.
You know what
And
I
you
mean?
know what? I was an
You ain't
election.
do your research.
I was an election official for precinct 509, and that's in Clearwater, Florida, for a number of years. And I used to have to do these classes. Believe it or not, want to hear some crazy? The Scientologist, no kidding, used to have me come out and do basically a voter education training, like to teach them. And it was tricky because you had to be nonpartisan, couldn't be too far to the right, too far to the left. So all the information had to be just factual information about the facts. That's what they needed. So they could, and like anybody, so they could make their own decisions about whatever it was that they wanted to make their decision about. Well, the thing that was most confusing for a lot of people was just what you said. They knew the top three candidates. They knew the two guys that were going to appear on the ticket for the president. They might have known the governor, depending on what time of year it was. Um, they might have saw a certain senator on a bunch of commercials or something, but they didn't know too much other than what their political affiliation was. So unfortunately, a lot of people start voting down party lines because they're uneducated. And so they would vote, I'm going to vote all blue or I'm going to vote all red without knowing anything about any certain subject. And it's a consistent problem because my mother used to do this thing. She voted on what she called a split ticket. The split ticket meant that she was going to vote for whoever was best at that job, period. Didn't matter who it was. Whoever was best for the job, that's who she was voting for. Like I remember one year she voted for Ross Perot. I like to lost my damn mind. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I was like, he looks like that guy from the chicken commercial. From Purdue. What's that guy's name? The guy
The Purdue.
Purdue. Yeah, it looked like the Purdue guy. And I'm like, you voting for the chicken man? She goes, no, he's great and he's a progressive and he's a this and all this stuff. Boy, I'm like, I was upset as all get out. And the dude lost. And I remember thinking to myself, this is gonna split the vote, because we're real political in my family. We follow that stuff about third parties and all this kind of stuff. But the thing is, if people started legitimately voting their conscience because I talked to Republicans and Democrats alike who love Bernie Sanders, and then they didn't vote for him. You know, they didn't support him early on, so Hillary knocked him out the box. And then those same people who were gonna vote for Bernie, now they're mad at Hillary, and now Hillary's emails. I'm like, man, I wish we could go back to the days where we was just bitching about emails, because they was mad about Hillary's emails, but this dude can rape some folks, can you know, the what do you call it, the party, the family values party, and the Back the Blue party. Trump's had 3 wives, 91 felony charges. I could go on and on, you know, like robbed and stolen money from people left, right, and sideways, but he's their guy. He said it out of his own mouth. He could shoot somebody in Times Square and wouldn't spend a day in jail and would probably go up in the polls. He ain't never lied. Not about that anyway. About that, he told nothing but the truth. Because the folks that support him don't care about the decency stuff that used to be important when it came to a political candidate. And all them motherfuckers are a little bit dirty. All of them are a little shady, but there's regular shady, and then there's Trump shady.
Okay, so who's wrong in that situation? Is he wrong for doing what he's doing, or are they wrong for supporting? You know what I mean?
Honestly, I'd say the people. That's a great question. That's a great question, because what happens is like this. When you heard that thing before, when you know better, you do better. So if you know that this dude, there was this girl, Nikita Big Bank, on Facebook. She was saying she's a New Yorker. She said in a message that she knows all about Trump because she grew up in New York as he was 17 years old. And there was this black woman who finally took him to court because they would not let black people live in their buildings. And he tried to get the exonerated 5, those cats in out of time, what do you call it, out of Central Park. He tried to have them boys murdered, had them tried to keep them in jail, took out a full-page ad to mess up these kids' lives, even though they didn't do the crime, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, so in New York, why is it that Trump claims to be out of Florida when he's a New Yorker? He's a Yankee through and through, but he's got these rednecks waving Trump flags next to Confederate flags, and he don't give a damn about these people, but he's got them fooled. So who's at fault? They are, because Trump does now what he's always done. He's a reality show guy who understands how to get people hyped up. He said he loves the poorly educated, and those are the folks that vote for him. And I'm not just saying that to be mean. I'm saying that those are facts, because the majority of the people that support Trump are not college educated people. They're, just salt of the earth kind of folks who feel like some kind of way they've not been represented. There's nobody speaking for them. And if you listen to Trump speak, he's an idiot, but he's speaking their language. So I blame them, because he's one guy who does what he does.
Right.
He's hijacked the whole Republican
but you gotta,
Party.
society as a whole has changed. And I think that's what our biggest problem is. It's stuff that we wouldn't take. Let me see. Hold on. How can I put this? Stuff 5 and 10 years ago that we would say, "Fuck no, I ain't going with that shit." This. Now you like, oh, it really ain't that bad if you think about it.
Remember,
you know what I mean? We done got. To tell you the truth, society has gotten soft. They done gotten soft.
Oh yeah,
they're nothing like they used to be. You know what I mean? You got the newer generation coming up, and then you have people now that want to understand everything. You know what I mean? They don't. Like I grew up with the analogy that if you don't stand for something, then you fall for anything.
Yeah.
Now it's like, if you don't stand for something, you just agree with whoever else agrees with this, whoever agrees the most.
I'll tell you,
what I mean?
You hit the nail on the head. The thing that you said that just rings through my head is very true. Like, America's gotten soft, and we've gotten soft, but we've also gotten very mean. America's become a very mean place, like where people don't. The Native Americans used to say you judge a tribe by the way they take care of their old people and their women, their old people and their young, right? And America used to kind of sort of be about that a little something. I don't mean during slavery, because America's never given a fuck about black people, but or a lot of people with good tans. But for the most part, as America, Ronald Reagan called this the shining beacon on the hill and all like this. This was a place where lots of other folks wanted to come here because we kind of had some good shit going on. And people they understood the ideology of hard work and the result of hard work and dedication and all of these kind of good qualities. People also understood consequences. Here's how I knew shit was different. So about 2 years ago, I was in a grocery store in Pasco County, and this dude was getting really mean, rude, nasty. I'm standing in line, and this guy is just showing his whole entire ass. And the man behind me said, "Hey, buddy, calm down." And the dude ran up. He's about my size. He ran up and he pushed the dude. The guy was smaller than us. Pushed the dude, pushed him into me, and he says, "Watch your fucking mouth, mister. I'm having a bad day." And I said, hey, watch it. Y'all keep that over there. And he said the magic words. And he said, "Fuck you, nigga." So in about 0.2 seconds, I smacked the shit out of him, thought about it. Then I smacked him about 5 more times, just open-handed, old school, whap, 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 about 5 times. And I'm sitting there staring, I'm standing there staring at this dude, and I'm contemplating, do I want to beat his ass all the way, or do I want to smack him some more? At this point, the manager of the store comes running over with a couple other people, employees, and they grab me. Now I shake them off like, what the hell? They commenced getting ready to call the police and everything else. And then the people in the store was like, no, not this guy, this guy. And the moral to the story is that now I'm hearing the old lady over here and some guy over here and everybody trying to tell me how, oh, golly, you shouldn't do that. And, you could get charged and all of this kind of stuff. And I was thinking to myself, what kind of pussification of America is going on right here? Everybody's seen that dude and seen him showing his ass. And I got to get speeches behind smacking the shit out of them. Once upon a time, that's what you did to assholes. You beat their ass. And the crowd will be like, yeah. I'm like, what the hell? This is 2 years ago. And I'm thinking, damn, what is going on in this country? Like once upon a time, that's what we did. America, we was the cowboys, we was ass kicking with the military. And, now everything is questionable because we've got so much fucked up influence controlling Americans. Americans are getting a little fucked up. We gotta find our way back home. We really do. Because I love my country. I love my state. I got a couple of states I love, but we got to find our way back. And it starts from people. We know right from wrong. Y'all know right from wrong. You do. You know what I mean? Y'all playing partisan politics and, the black folks against the white folks. Fuck all that. Shouldn't be the black folks against the white folks or any of this kind of stuff that they're trying to tell people is civil war, race war. No, it's not. The only people saying that shit are people who are buying the bullshit. The cult members, like Frost called them. They got that cult mentality. Shake that shit off and get back to being Americans. But I digress.
Good shit, Bo. Good shit.
Yeah, shit. You too, brother. Shit. I'll tell you what. Maybe what did Jazz say? We need to go to NPR. Shit, man. Maybe we do. We could get you to stop drinking the alcohol that you're drinking. Everybody knows
me?
This is apple juice. I'm drinking apple juice.
Man, this is nah. Yeah, you see, that's the chaser.
Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna call your ass out. I know you done smacked a few in your day and had that same situation, but you over here making it like I'm the fucking bully ass thug when I know this.
Should have smacked a few.
You done smacked many a few because of shit like it was Tuesday.
I'm gonna tell you, I ain't gonna go through the whole story, but like I said, I can make a mini series out of some of the shit I've done.
Yeah,
but you talking about smacking somebody, man? You ever been to? I know up north they have it, down south they don't. They have a grocery store called Kroger.
Yeah, of course.
Kroger, Big Bear, this stuff. Okay, now at Kroger they got the big you first pull up, they got the big windows, big picture window, big storefront windows right there.
Yeah.
But one day I was there and I'm minding, I was up to no good. And
Say it ain't so.
yeah. So I had a situation where I took a hat off a dude, threw it on the ground, and I told him, "You pick the hat up, fucking you up." and he thought about it for a second, and I said it again. You bend down, you pick a hat, I'm gonna fuck you up. So of course, he bent down and picked up the hat. So at that point, I grabbed him by the throat, pants, I picked him up, and I threw him straight through the fucking window at Kroger's. Like, the big window, straight through that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Straight through it. Now, did I go to jail? No. They get probation? No.
Yeah, that's a good day.
Right. But in my town in southwest Ohio, they was like back then, you didn't go to jail for fighting. They didn't give a damn whether you was fighting or not. They used to pull up and we'd be out there fighting like cats and dogs. And they pull up and be like, "Hey, you all right? Yeah, I'm good. You gonna file a report? Nope. All right.
Right. Exactly.
And I'll tell you, it was like the Wild West for real. You know what I mean? And we loved it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's been a minute. There's been a many of people that have got the shit smacked out of them, for whatever reason.
Right.
But like I said, I can write a minute story. I can write a minute series on some of the stupid shit that we done.
Shit. I hear you, man. Well, I'll tell y'all what. So we've been about an hour and 17 minutes tonight. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to unfuck these technical difficulties so we don't have these problems no more. Hadn't had any in a while, but we'll figure it out and get this shit right. But I tell you what,
little gremlin run around the electronic gremlin. He run around fucking up shit.
We got to get one of them bells like you put on the Harley.
Mm-hmm.
Put it over, get like 3-4 of them to put over all of this stuff. But I tell y'all what, we appreciate y'all being with us tonight for sure. Y'all talk about what we've been talking about here. Let folks know what's going on for real. Let people know what's going on, because a lot of folks won't know until they hear it from you. And if they tell you that ain't true, tell them to check this out. Or shit, Google. You can pull this shit up on Google. It's all out there. So you ain't never gonna hear nothing from me or Archbishop that ain't nothing but the gospel. I can tell you that right now. So if y'all need to remember something about any of this, remember, if we say it, that shit is true. And if we say some wrong shit, we'll correct it. But thus far, we got a pretty good record. We ain't said too much wrong. I said the name of a movie wrong one time, and you caught me on that. But other than that,
hell, our boneheads to pick it up real quick. If you say something wrong, they'll hurry up and correct you.
Yeah, hey, y'all are the best. Y'all are the best fact checkers in North America up in this piece. I love that. Because that's one thing I will say. The people that watch us every week, I've noticed, are some pretty intelligent people. They're educated, getting educated, and they're on their game. And we got a bunch of them. So we love y'all. And and Kroger's, Frost talking about Kroger's. But yeah, Kroger, that was a great story. But anyway, we're gonna shut the hell up. But other than that, we're gonna peace out, and we're gonna do it a little differently because technical difficulties. But in the meantime, we love y'all, and peace out. AB, got anything to say to them folks?
See you in 7 days.
That part.
Peace.
A good 7 days. All right, y'all.